The chair now recognizes the gentle lady from Missouri, Ms. Wagner, chairman of our Oversight and Investigations Subcommittee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Right here. Mr. Smith, forgive me if I appear a little bit more disturbed or harsh than some of my colleagues, but this issue hits very, very close to home for me. This past year, my tax identity was stolen. And to be frank with you, it has been a complete and utter nightmare. For me, this isn't just another data breach. It is a breach of trust. When we learned that our tax identity was stolen, guess who we turned to for help? That's right, the credit reporting agencies. So although giving a free year of credit monitoring is a good step, first step, I should say, I don't have much confidence, to be perfectly honest, in the product, sir. In addition, as the chairman of the Oversight and Investigations Committee, I will be closely monitoring the additional facts that come out regarding this case, especially those concerning the sale of stocks by executives at Equifax. Although none of us should, I should say, prejudge before knowing all of the facts, and I'm sure that the SEC and DOJ will get to the bottom of this. Let me start by asking you this briefly. Mr. Smith, what would you tell people like me, people who have previously experienced identity theft of some kind and turned to Equifax for help? What do you say to these people who feel completely at a loss for what to do next? How can anyone possibly ever trust, and we've talked about trust here at the committee, this company again, and be confident that they can be protected in the future? Please.
Thank you, Congresswoman. And we're a 118-year-old company, and protecting and being a trusted steward of our data is paramount to our ability to gain trust, have trust with consumers and companies around the world. What I would tell consumers is, first, please go to our website, take advantage of the 5 offerings that we've offered for a year for free. And secondly, January 31st, when the new lifetime lock product becomes available for free for life, I would strongly recommend that every American go get that product as well.
I recently read comments from CFPB Director Richard Cordray where he stated his intention to provide accountability concerning the data breach. As you know, the CFPB began supervising credit reporting agencies on behalf of consumers, I believe, in 2012, but not its cyber security systems, which has been left to the FTC. What interaction, sir, did you have with the CFPB prior to the breach regarding cybersecurity?
Congresswoman, I can't recall. Obviously, we've been in communication with the CFPB since they've been our regulator, and I've personally been involved in those communications.
Prior to the breach, sir?
I can't recall me. I was not personally involved with CFPB regarding cybersecurity myself.
Wow. What interactions have you had with them since the breach, then?
I have not had an interaction with CFPB since the breach.
Wow. Mr. Smith, I did want to take an opportunity to ask you some questions that I've been hearing from my constituents back home. Can you detail what categories of consumer information were accessed during the months-long breach?
Yes, I'll give that a shot. We try to be very clear in the series of press releases we've had in the past that the consumer's core credit file, which is their credit history with us, was not compromised. We talked about a database we have where someone asked over here on small businesses. We have a database on small business. That was not compromised.
What kind of personal identification information specifically?
So as we've disclosed in press releases, date of birth, name, social security number. I think there were 200,000, 209,000 credit cards that were compromised. There was a document, Congresswoman, called a dispute document, where a consumer could dispute that they've paid an obligation, take a picture of that, for example, upload that in the system. That was another example that was compromised.
Let me ask this, Smith. What sort of financial products, for instance, could be opened in my constituents' names if those pieces of data that you just named, for instance, were part of the breach?
If, Congresswoman, if the consumer takes advantage of the free service and locks their file, no one has access to that file to open it.
I thought my file was locked before, after my tax returns were breached, when I breached all of you. So Again, my trust in the product is at an all-time low. I have several more questions. I'll submit them for the record. I thank the chairman, and I yield back.